All right. It says it's recording.
Okay. Hi, I'm Madeline. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Candace.
All right. Well, I'm going to start by asking what brings you here today.
Well, I'm having some problems at the house with my kids and my husband. Um, the kids have been staying out past curfew. They're not really trying to follow the rules. It seems like they don't really care about the rules. Um, my husband's saying it's my fault because I'm not very authoritative with them. I kind of let them get away with a lot, and I guess you could say I'm more friendly than parently to them, if that's a word. And he's the authoritative. He's always the one trying to get them to do the right thing, and I'm here most of the time with them because he works out of town, and so he's saying it's my fault because I'm not making them do what they're supposed to.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is your children aren't really listening and they're kind of staying out past curfew, and your husband is really upset about it, trying to get them to listen, and you're more relaxed and just kind of being friendly with them and letting them do what they want.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, well, first off, just tell me a little bit about yourself and your kids and those
Okay.
relationships.
Um, well, my kids are 16 and 15. They're both girls. Um, they are actually my stepdaughters. Me and my husband have been married for 10 years. And this is the first year that he has lived away from us as a family unit. And he's always been the one who's made sure the kids kind of did what they were supposed to do. And I've never really had to be the one. I just took care of everybody, made sure they made their appointments, made sure schoolwork was done, they ate, stuff like that. So now he's expecting me to do all of it, like be the person who instills punishment and everything else. And I'm not good at that at all. And So that's just causing a lot of problems. We're not able to communicate mainly because of that. And then the girls say they're going to listen to me and they're not going to do it again. And then I give them a chance and they go out and it happens again. So I'm kind of just here. I guess I don't really know why.
Okay, well, I'm sure that's hard, having him away a lot, and you just want to, even when you do tell them what to do, they may not listen. How would you kind of describe yourself as a parent or as a person in general?
Well, as a person, I'm real laid back. A lot of stuff doesn't really bother me. It never has. Um, I do expect respect as like an adult and as an authoritative figure. I expect a lot out of kids. And I think maybe a lot of issues could stem from when they were younger. I was very lax with them because I was unsure about punishment, maybe because I wasn't their mom and I didn't want them like trying to like see me as trying to replace their mom and those kind of things. So I was having a hard time, like I guess finding an in between. So I think I found it easier to just be friendly and go.
Hmm.
Um, but that seems to be the problem now is that's what they expect. And now that I don't know how to go any other way besides that, um, with them and stuff. But I'm laid back, but I'm always there. I'm consistent. It's just not consistent with punishment.
Okay, so would you say that your goal is to just gain their respect, or maybe just have them listen to you a little more? Is that what you want from them?
Yeah, I would, and I know, like with anybody, respect comes. Most people don't just give respect, and you would think after 10 years there is respect there, and there probably is. It's just not for me being as the authority figure. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So overall, what would you say your goals for therapy would be?
Overall, my goals are to maybe be able to communicate a little bit better with my family as a whole. Um, Possibly be able to explain to the girls how it feels with them not listening and kind of, I guess, walking over me. Um, and then trying to figure out a way that we can come to a common ground if we can. And then, I'll say a lot. And then to maybe communicate a little more with my husband about how hard it is to me and why I find it difficult to be what he needs me to be while he's not here.
Okay, well, those sound like pretty ideal goals, and we can definitely work towards that. But just a few more questions. What would you say is your daily routine with your daughters and your husband? I know he's away a lot, but what does that look like when he's there versus when he's not there?
Okay. We'll start with when he's here because he's literally only home for maybe a day every 2 weeks. So when he's here, it's all fun because he's not home, so everybody's just trying to get his time when they can. And he seems to kind of like, be a lot more lax on them because he's not here. But I think that's because he expects me to step up, and we try not to fight when he's home because we don't see each other very often. It's not how we want it to be. So it's pretty good, I guess you could say. But when he's not here, my routine is I get the kids up, I get them ready for school, I make sure they get on the bus, then I get ready, I go to work. As soon as I get home, the kids have been home maybe an hour by themselves. And then I get home, I'm trying to make sure they do their homework, which that's another thing they don't really listen on. It's constant. I feel like I'm nagging all the time because it's not happening. Takes hours to get one assignment done. And then I'll get dinner done. And then sometimes I'll ask them for help, maybe with the dishes and stuff. And they just ignore me and the dishes stay in the sink. And I end up having to do it all myself. The same goes for cleaning the house or anything like that. It's just like immediately expected for me to do it because I'm mom, which I get. Yeah, it's not their job completely to clean my home, but it is their job to clean their own stuff. But again, I'm having a hard time getting them to do that.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is there's a huge difference in whenever he is there and whenever he's not there. Would you say that whenever y'all are all together, who makes most of the decisions? And when decisions are made, how do you deal with that? How does he deal with that?
For the most part, when he's home, he makes the decisions. Like when it comes to the kids, he does. Especially like punishment or rewards and stuff. He makes those decisions. Mine's more just like how money is going to be spent, what bills are going to be paid, stuff like that. But for the kids not listening, that's him. He's the one who does it.
Okay. And whenever have you mentioned to this about to your husband about how they don't listen? Do y'all talk about it often, or does he kind of just does he listen to you whenever you talk to you about it?
Not really. He doesn't really give me a chance to talk about it. Mostly it's just you're not making them do this. Why? They're doing it because of you, and stuff like that. Or he'll come home and like just, I guess, talk down to my parenting style because it's not his. So that's where a lot of like conflict between us happens there. And I think there also might be a problem with the kids because they can probably like sense it, even though we
Mhm.
try not to like argue about that kind of stuff in front of them. They're not, they're not dumb. They're not little kids. They sense things. They know things are happening. So I think that might be a good part of it.
Mhm. Could it be that they can kind of see that he doesn't really listen to you sometimes, and maybe they just take that and they don't listen as well?
Yes, I could definitely see that as them, especially being like, well, he doesn't have to listen to you and he's your husband. Why should we have to listen to you?
Mhm. As I've liked talking to you and kind of just figuring out more about you and more about your family dynamic, I would love to continue working with you, and I would love to facilitate change. I just want to know that you accept that you want to change and that it needs to be done, and that you're willing to work with me to change.
Yes, I am. I
Right.
definitely get that things would
Okay,
be better if
awesome.
I could do it.
Okay. And do you think your husband would be willing to come in next session and where you could discuss these issues more and kind of work together?
It's possible. He has a very negative view of therapy. He might try to feel like it's like a couples counseling type
Mhm.
thing. Maybe if I can try to talk to him and tell him it's not, and this is more like trying to resolve maybe if I could try to like just tell him it's trying to resolve my issue so I can become a better parent. Maybe that's one way I can get him to come. Um, I do think it would be easier if we did via video like we are now. I think he would be comfortable being in our home setting than rather being in your office.
Okay. Well, I'm completely fine with that if you are. I would love to give you some homework maybe that you would do. Would you be willing to do some homework?
Yeah, what does the homework
It's
consist of?
nothing big, it's nothing big. So it would just be, talking to your husband, maybe about how you're feeling a little bit, or if you don't wanna talk about that, you could just ask maybe if he's just willing to come in next week or the next week just to kinda talk, together, and maybe I could be like the facilitator and have y'all talk more about, what could change.
Yeah, yeah, I think I can try that as some homework.
Okay, perfect. Well, I would love to see y'all next week, and I look forward to seeing you.
Great. Thank you. It was very nice.
Mhm.
All right. Bye.
All right, and just to one more thing to confirm, would next Thursday at 9 a.m. be okay for you too?
Um, Probably not. I don't think if I'm trying to get my husband to come, I don't think that's going to work very well with his schedule. He does since he works out of town. Um, it's better if we can try to do it on a day he's like going to be here because I think it would be too hard to kind of do like a three-way video. Plus, I don't think he would sign in if I'm not there to help make him. Um, I think this is coming up on his off week, so he would be coming home Thursday night. So that would put him Friday. As long as it's not early morning, I think I could get him to do it.
All right, let me check. I do have a 10 a.m. or a 1 p.m.
Um, let's go ahead and take the 1 p.m. That way he'll be awake and we won't have to worry about none of that kind of stuff. And it's after lunch, so nobody will be hangry.
All right, that sounds perfect. I'll see you guys 1 p.m. on Friday. It was so good talking to you, and I look forward to seeing both of you guys next week.
Great, thank you. Hi, Madeline. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
Good. How have you been?
I've been all right, It's been a week, but
All right. Well, what's been going on with you this week?
kind of just the same old. I my job's just been stressful and I just work with a lot of guys and I just feel like we're doing the same exact thing except, you know, they're getting paid so much more than I am and it's just kind of frustrating and yeah.
Okay, okay. This is actually kind of what you were talking about last week a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, so much hasn't really changed about that.
No, I've just been kind of just going with the flow, just, letting them get paid more than I and doing the same thing, if not sometimes more. And it's just really frustrating and it makes me not want to do my job. But, I love my job and I want to do it well. But yeah, it's just been kind of frustrating, as I said.
I can imagine. I remember last time when we were speaking, you had told me that you like the company you work for, and that's kind of why you've been staying there. But you're not really feeling like they're treating you very well because of the pay gap. Um, and you had told me last time that you thought about asking for a raise, but you've never actually quite done it. And we kind of touched on why you didn't really do it last time, but our time kind of ran short. So I wanted to make sure this time we kind of dove into it and dug a little bit deeper, if that would be okay with you. Um, I remember last time I talked to you about a technique called the empty chair technique. Um, and did you still want to possibly try it this time?
Yeah, I would love to try it. Yeah, I think it would be good. Can you kind of like briefly explain it just one more time, just so I can have a refresher on it?
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Okay. At any point, if I'm talking too fast about it or you have any other questions and I kind of skipping over, just stop me and let me know. Um, okay, so first, what will happen is you're either going to have a chair next to you that's empty, or we're just going to imagine there's a chair next to you. And for your situation, what we would do is we would take the aspect of you that's you're having a hard time voicing, like about your raise and why you want the raise and why you deserve it. And we're going to put that in the chair and you're going to have a conversation with that person. So you're going to talk to this part of you that you're having a hard time with as the whole you. Is that making sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
you're
I'll
going
just be talking to the part of me that, you know, is like shy and timid and too scared to ask for
to,
a
yes,
raise.
exactly. Those are the feelings that you were expressing last time. So we're going to talk about that. And then what happens is you're creating a dialogue with yourself.
Okay.
Um, so we're going to start doing that. And then, so did you want to use an empty chair next to you, or did you just want to imagine that there's a chair?
Mm, I think I can just imagine that there's a chair like next to me.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So what we're going to do is first we have to give this other part of you a name. So what would you call this part that you're having a hard time with?
Okay, well, so just like any name I wanted.
Any name, it's your choice.
Well, I feel like this part of me is super, like reserved, kind of pushed down deep inside of me. And like, I don't want to, I'm kind of shy and timid in this part of me. So I guess I could name it like timid. Would that work?
Okay, yeah, that's a great name. All right, so we're going to imagine that Timid is sitting next to you in a chair. Your choice. It could be on your left, it could be on your right. It doesn't matter. So, to help you a little bit with the process, I want you to turn towards whichever way Timid is sitting.
Okay.
Okay. And think about those feelings that you have when you feel that you deserve to be paid as much as they're paid, um, but you just can't find that voice to ask for that raise that you're wanting, you deserve. So start thinking about those feelings, and that's what's in that chair. And now, as you, I want you to have a conversation with Timid about how Timid makes you feel.
Okay. So, timid, you make me feel frustrated because you're just shy, and it's just a part of me that, is kind of blocking like me asking for a raise. It's kind of blocking I know that I can be confident. I know that I can be straightforward, but timid, you're kind of just blocking all those feelings, and it's frustrating. It kind of makes me angry at times, um, because I know that I am better than that, and I can get over you.
That's great. That's
How's
great.
that?
You did really good. Um, so what I got was you were telling Timid that they are blocking you from something that you deserve. And you did really good
Hmm.
expressing yourself. So now what I want you to do is you to be timid, expressing how what you just said to Timid makes Timid feel. Does that make sense? So I want you to put yourself in Timid's shoes and verbalize how Timid would respond to what you just said to them.
So, okay. So I'd face this way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That way you're Timid talking to
So
you.
I'm timid talking to myself.
Yes, yourself as a whole.
Okay.
And
So am I being like, can I? Okay. I'll try.
your choice. You're doing a great job.
So, you're too shy. You can't ask for a raise. You're not good enough for the raise, and all the other guys, they deserve a raise, and you don't necessarily deserve a raise because you're a woman. And if you ask for a raise, then you're gonna maybe get fired. Maybe other people will laugh at you, and I just don't know if it's a good idea to ask for a raise because I just don't know. I don't know if you can do it. You're too nervous. Um, yeah.
Okay, good job. Great, great. All right. So now, thinking about how Timid just responded to you about why it's holding you back and keeping your voice away.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you would like to respond back to Timid about the comments they just said to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would
Okay.
like to respond. Okay. Well, as a whole, hearing those words kind of makes me sad because I don't think those are true. I think I am a confident person and I can ask for a raise, and I think you're kind of just holding me back, and um, I don't think it's right, and I think I can overcome you.
All right. That was great. Do you feel Timid would have a response to that? Or do you think Timid maybe heard you and understood you?
I think Timid probably heard me and understood me.
Okay. Okay, great. Now, I want you to think about how it felt to speak your mind to Timid and get all that off your chest and just tell him how it felt. Um, can you explain to
Um,
me how you felt after you started talking to Timid about how it made you feel?
so talking to Timid about how I felt, it was definitely relieving. Maybe I felt relief, letting this off my chest, kind of talking to this part of me that won't let me overcome certain things. It made me feel better. It kind of just made it seem kind of silly that I'm like thinking all these things where like I'm just letting this like one little part of me kind of dictate my life and what I do, when if it wasn't for that part of me, I could do this certain thing and maybe get further in life.
Okay, that's really good. And then now that you've kind of had this eye-opening experience with yourself about a part of you that's been holding you back, what do you think you're going to do with that?
So now that I kind of understand that it's just this one part of me that has trouble with asking my boss, and realizing that I am confident, I am worthy of a raise, and I am worthy of, you know, getting paid just as much as those men, like all the men there do. Because just because I'm a woman, that doesn't mean that I don't deserve a raise. I kind of feel like it is kind of like my duty as a woman, as a, a good worker, to go ask my boss, um, hey, like, these people are getting paid just as, like, they do just what I do, but they get paid more than I. Um, I feel like that's kind of the decision I have to do, something that I have to do to get over this, being, and not let timid like hold me back.
Yes, exactly. That's great. That's really good. I think you did really well with this technique. You responded to it very well. What I would like to know now is, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I would like to know is, what is your plan? What is your plan
so
from when you leave this office?
so I don't know. I guess my plan, obviously I would want to just march up to my boss's office and be like, "Hey, give me a raise. I deserve it." But I think I'm gonna have to do something a little more civil. But definitely kind of just putting the right words together and going to talk to my boss. Maybe not being all mean about it and saying, all these men get paid more, so I deserve, I deserve better. But I think that maybe just going and asking, telling her that I am a hard worker, that I love working for this company. I hope to further in this company, and I've been there for a year. Um, I've done my best, and I feel like I've always put in my best effort, and that they've seen that and they realize that. So maybe just saying, hey, like, I mean, in a nice way, asking for a raise and saying, is there anything more I can do to get a raise? Or um, what is it going to take for me to be able to get this raise that I feel like I personally deserve?
That is a great goal for you to do. Um, can do you think you would be interested in maybe a little bit of homework from the session?
I think I would be able to do, yeah, I think I'd be into doing some homework.
Okay. Um, so what I would want you to do is kind of how you just were, and we did the empty chair technique here. You did very well with it. Do you think at home that maybe you could do kind of the empty chair technique in the mirror, or with an empty chair, or kind of how we did it just a minute ago? Maybe kind of like having a pre-conversation about your raise.
So yeah, so maybe just like sitting down and like pretending that my boss is in front of me instead of like, timid. And just asking, or, kindly describing like how I want to raise and stuff like that.
Yes, yes. Do you think that would be something
Uh,
you could possibly practice?
yeah. Yeah, I think that would be something that would be good for me. I think I'd be definitely open to doing that.
Okay, that would be great. Um, so what we'll do for next time when you come in is we'll see how you've progressed. We're going to talk about if you ended up talking with your boss and how that made you feel, and if you decided not to do it, how that made you feel, and kind of the choices that you made towards it. But I think you did really good today. You've made great progress recognizing that part of yourself and communicating.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that maybe you wanted to talk about, or?
No, I think that that really was beneficial to me. And thank you so much. I'll definitely do the homework, and I'll be able to come in next week as well. So,
Okay. Do you think the same time and day for next week is good? Tuesday at 3 p.m.?
yes, Tuesday at 3 p.m. definitely works.
Okay, great. I will see you next week. I look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.